Hello and welcome to another episode of Diaries of Badass Bosses. I'm Tigz Rice.
And I'm Penny Joyner-Platt.
And we are back after a very, very, very short break.
Yes, just a teeny tiny one. Just a tiny one.
Just
to get over the Christmas hump.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite hard finding recording days when between us we were off. I say we. I took a 3-week holiday, and so I was not really available for filming.
It's always nice to have a little break, though, isn't it? But we are back, so I hope you've missed us.
Yes. What have you been up to?
Well, I mean, literally like Christmas and, the kids and stuff. So, just really enjoying it because now the boys are kind of that age, like they really do understand Christmas. So it was chaotic, but it was really fun. Chaos.
Yeah.
But I did also celebrate my birthday as
well.
And I went to see Moulin Rouge in the West End. Oh my God.
It's so good. I've not stopped thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
This might be my Roman Empire now.
It literally was incredible. And for anyone that hasn't seen it and does love the West End or just loves Moulin Rouge, please go and see it because I have seen many, 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 many West End shows. And this is at my top of my list.
I think it's top of mine as well.
It was just, I was so overwhelmed with the talent and just couldn't look in enough places. It was incredible.
Even just the beginning of the show, like the pre-show and like the interval when they have, I won't spoil it for you, but there's pre-show bits and everything else.
Yeah.
And like even the pre-show was great. Like,
I know. It was great. What have you been up to?
Well, it was also my birthday actually.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah. It's busy December for us, isn't it? My husband got COVID on the 20th of December.
You're kidding.
So we ended up having a very, very, very quiet Christmas and sitting at opposite ends of the hallway, eating dinner, looking like facing in. So, but actually I feel really rested.
Good.
He might not feel so rested. He's had a lot of recovery to do, but yeah.
Oh.
Back in January, ready to go.
Good.
Ready to go.
Yes, raring to go. And we're going to be talking about media actually today.
Yes.
And kind of how the media can empower your business. It's not always the bad guy. But we've got a guest today that has recently been in the media and many, 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 many people will have watched her on TV in 2023.
Yes. It's a big show.
It is a big TV show. But before we give anything away, why don't we just have a little chat about how strategic media is for business growth? And obviously this is a little bit of my world, obviously, with totally
the
PR. But it's why should we be active? So from your point of view, like what is it why would you approach the media? What would it do for you and your business?
Oh, there's so many more eyes on your business and fresh eyes for that matter as well. Like we have our networks and we have our people that surround us and our friends and family and followers that know us already, but getting out there and having that so many extra eyes and maybe people that might not have even heard of your business before on a platform that you might not necessarily have been on before. Like it can really bring some huge growth.
Yeah. But it's not easy. And I think that's the thing. And that's why, as I say, either working with somebody that understands the media, works in PR, or, you don't always have to have those big agency budgets. It's why I do coaching, because I think it's important. Everyone should have access to the media. Everyone should have the ability to promote themselves with them. But, it's not just about TV and newspapers anymore and radio. It actually now podcasts have been the opportunity for that brand voice. Obviously, so we've got one.
Yes, that's why we're here every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday in your ear. But they've given people that ability to say what they want to say, because otherwise the media can control that voice, whereas podcasts give you that opportunity to have your own.
Absolutely. Say that message you really want to put out there. So when you're working with your clients, what are you asking for in terms of, okay, we're going to go out there, we're going to get you seen. What's in that media pack before they're going out there and putting, a very base list? What kind of things do you need to start putting yourself out there?
The perfect media pack is going to have a profile on you. So it's going to be your background. Why should people listen to you? Why have you got credibility? what is your business. It's kind of just a breakdown crib sheet of who you are and what your business is. You would also have a number of press releases, or at least one press release that's like your latest news. So is it that you've got a new product? Is it that you've got a new service? Is it some charity work that you've been doing, or maybe there's some sales success rate that you've got? Maybe there's some information that you have, some data that would be really interesting to the media. You've done a survey. You know, there's so many different news routes, which is why if you do have a couple, include a couple of them in that media pack.
Love a good stat.
Also have your imagery.
Yes.
So make sure you've got a nice bank of images as well. You want an image of yourself or several images of yourself. And they don't have to be the standard head, shoulders. I mean, no, we're not like back in the 50s. Have it in a natural setting. And then also have, if you've got product shots, have a lookbook as well, which is really important. If you've got a business that is about services, see if you can have that in visuals, promoting, you know, what your services is. If it's a difficult one, because I appreciate to try and photograph all services is like, there's always something, and you're probably testament to this. So it could just be you at your desk, things like that, you on the phone, just in the situation of what your business is, and have portrait, landscape images. So you've got different variety in there, but make sure that they're high res. They've all been captioned, inserted. And if you've got videos as well. So it's really actually, if anything, it's about having a collection of things in the right format. And
between us, actually, like, that's basically what we both specialize in, isn't it? Like from you helping get everything ready, and me specifically from like the image side, and Connor, who's not currently mic'd up, who also does.
We could say anything we want about him right now. We could speak for him. We're like the media for Connor.
But you know, also he edits the podcast, so anything that we say that he doesn't like, he can cut out. So
damn it.
Yeah,
okay.
we probably didn't think
we're not live. Oh.
But if anyone is out there thinking, I really want to get into the media this year, and like that's my goal, and you know, 2024 I want to get out there, get seen, get more visible, have more eyes on my business, then obviously you can contact any of us. You can find all three of us listed on the podcast information, so do reach out, and we would love to help you achieve those goals this year.
Yeah, definitely ask us any questions you've got, for sure. I'm always happy to answer. And terrible plug as always, but we're always looking for a sponsor. Yeah, we'd love a little sponsor looking after us and helping us promote you as well. So anybody that'd be interested in sponsoring Diaries of Badass Bosses, do get in touch.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Great opportunity to get more eyes on your business too.
So I feel like we should crack on, because I'm so excited.
I know.
Well, let's connect straight through to our guest. Well, I am so excited to introduce this guest. And I know I always say I'm excited, but I actually am off the charts excited.
Well, I know how excited you are, because to put this into context, I don't watch much TV, and you set me homework of, what was it, 30 days worth?
30 days worth of TV watching from the amazing, and I know everyone is an addict to this, because I am an addict to it.
I'm a convert now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so basically, if anyone has never heard of this show, you need to watch it, or what planet have you been on? But Married at First Sight.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. It really is a fabulous show. But we've actually got, I would say, my favourite bride of this year. Yeah. She was just, I just loved her. She was just such a sweetheart, like,
so
and genuine,
authentic.
Yeah, exactly. But what I love about her is she's an entrepreneur.
I know.
So I'm so excited. So I am absolutely delighted to welcome the beautiful Rozz Darlington. Welcome.
I love that introduction. I was like, well, thank you.
Do you know, honestly, I really am fangirling, like massively, because I really do love the show, but I really did think that you were just wonderful. You came across so beautifully and genuine, and yeah, so I'm just delighted you come and joined us today.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. Honestly, like, you don't need to fangirl. Like, I'm just a normal girl. Do not worry. But no, it's, like, nice to go onto a show and, like, no matter how hard some of the hard times were, you know, to have all, like, the love and support and, like, now to have, like, a network of, like, such lovely, kind people. And it's nice to know, and it's refreshing to know that there is actually nice people out there in the world that just want to see you do good things and support your business and, you know, cheerlead you on instead of always thinking like the world's a big scary place and there's trolls and, you know, there is that, but then there is also beautiful people.
Yeah. Oh gosh. And do you know what? We need to hear that these days as well, because I think there's so much emphasis on the negativity of media and social media and that it is awful. But it's lovely to hear that you've had support and, you know, people really, you know, building you up in your business. So, you know, I'm really excited to kind of get into that today and find out how you're doing and what's ahead. But I'm just going to do a little bit of a blurb for everybody, just to kind of give them a bit of background on you. So bear with me. Okay. So we are honoured to have a great guest whose life is as vibrant as the bouquets she crafts. Joining us is the extraordinary Rozz Darlington, a true powerhouse in the world of floristry and the creative force behind Rosaline's flowers and the flower Paddock. Rosaline's journey is a captivating blend of entrepreneurship and fearlessness in matters of the heart. As the founder of her own floral empire, she has cultivated beauty and elegance, turning petals into poetry. But her story doesn't end there. Rosaline recently stepped into the spotlight on the 2023 season of Married at First Sight UK, embracing the unpredictable nature of love on national television, you brave girl. So right. In this episode, we are going to delve into Rosaline's business odyssey, exploring the roots of her passion for flowers and the influence of family on her blossoming career. We'll also uncover the petals of her romantic journey on Married at First Sight, discussing her connection with her husband, Thomas. I can never say his last name.
I know, even I struggle with that.
Criaras? Oh my gosh, brilliant. There's a blooper for you. And the profound impact this adventure has had on her life. I told you, I did warn you, Rosalind, this would happen. Get ready to be inspired as we unravel the layers of Rozz Darlington's life, from the fragrant petals of her flourishing business to the unexpected blooms of love on reality TV. Tune in as we explore the bouquets and the heartbeats that make up the life of this truly badass boss.
Oh my God! I mean, that needs a round of applause. That actually made my life sound incredible.
Everyone always says, should we just stop there? Like, we just do the intro and then that's it, just cut.
Yeah, like, that sounded marvellous. Thank you so much. It's so lovely to meet you, ladies.
I'm done. And out. Oh, well, look, honestly, it truly is a pleasure. So we're going to just crack right on and start by asking you to tell us a little bit about your journey in establishing your business, Rosaline's Flowers and the Flower Paddock.
So yeah, before I was a florist, I was a nanny. So I nannied for a family, and she was really interested. The mum was really interested in garden design. We were always cutting sweet peas, and I suppose that like started my inspiration to like, oh, I actually enjoy this. I actually want to know all the Latin names for the plants. You know, like I thought in school I couldn't do like French or Spanish, so maybe I could sound exciting doing some Latin.
Love that. That's a great reason.
So now I'm fluent Latin. No, I'm joking. But I thought, like, yeah, why not? Like, I went home, and also my grandma's like really huge into garden. She was always winning like garden awards. So I suppose it's kind of bred into me, and it's like that nature nurture, isn't it, type thing. So I remember coming home one day and Dad being like, well, if you really enjoy it, why don't you enroll on like a floristry course at Rees Heath? And I was like, it's always scary taking that leap back into education, because it's like, I'm not that, you know, good going back to school, and I'm a bit more like physical rather than educational. But I did that, I jumped into it and I really enjoyed it. And I think like if you've got a passion for something, then it's easier. you know.
Yeah.
So finished my qualifications and then went into being a florist. So it took a couple of years just working in a florist shop to get a bit of experience, and then took the leap into owning my own business. And obviously it's terrifying, it's hard work, and I feel the one thing I've learned over time to being better in business is confidence, like self-belief. And if you are lacking that, then it's hard. And I think at the beginning of business I lacked confidence. I was always doubting myself, thinking, am I good enough? Will I be good enough? Do these customers even want to be with me? And then since doing Married at First Sight, I really do feel, well, even since setting up the flower paddock, which was COVID time, I grew a confidence. I thought, you know, people come to me because they want to. There's loads of florists. They could go to different florists. And I think as soon as you start firing up that self-belief and confidence, everything becomes easier. You know, you put yourself out there easier, work comes easier. But yeah, it's a right journey, and it's a journey in yourself as well. Like, you're growing up. I set up the business quite young, so as well as you're growing up, your business is growing. So your mindset is constantly changing. And with being younger, the downside is you lack confidence. But then the upside is, you know, you bounce back. I'm easier at learning social media. You know, I'm keen to, you know, try and put myself out there. And I feel like as you get older, the confidence then just comes alongside, and you become, you flourish. I'm not saying I'm amazing, but I'm saying that I'm better than what I was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's what young people need to hear today as well, because I think there is this emphasis on, I'm coming out of uni, or I've come out of school, or, oh my God, there's this pressure, and actually there's nothing out there. And everyone's, you know, so it's wonderful to actually say, look, you can start your own business. Like, you actually don't need to rely on being employed by somebody. Like, just grab the bull by the horns, and you're going to be a real great inspiration for anybody that's even considering it, even at a young age. They'll be like, no, if I'm passionate about it, you know, you just work hard.
Because that's the thing, like, I used to look and think, oh God, I'm not that confident. Maybe I'm not that confident in business. But the thing is I am confident. I'm like quietly confident. You know, I may not be going into a room and oozing, you know, I could do this, I could do that. But I am going into a room oozing, I can familiarise myself, you know, I can hold a conversation, I can be approachable, and all these things are different levels of confidence. And then that snowballs into, you know, I can stand in front of a room of 80 women and hold a class. Of course you can. And I think it's so easy for people to believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself, that's your challenge. And you feel, you know, by putting yourself out there into the world, that's how you grow confidence. You've got to step out into it. You've got to step out of your comfort zone. And I think as well, that's going to MAFS. That's what I did there. You know, I want to keep pushing myself to be a better version of myself. And unless you drive yourself forward, obviously you're going to be terrified of life. It's scary.
Yeah.
Did you find that being on the show, were there any sort of parts of yourself that you sort of taken away back after the show and gone, you know what, I learned so much about myself in this specific area that's helped you with the business?
Yeah, like, I definitely think when I watch the show, in the show is totally different experience to watching it, because watching it, it's like an edited version, so it's a story, whereas in the show, obviously, there's hours and hours of filming, you're going through it, every single emotion, and I think when it comes to the end, I come to the homestay, which was a huge part for me, and I notice as I watch, God, I'm broken. Like, I didn't realise I was broken in that moment. I thought I was fine.
Yeah.
That's the problem with sometimes you can cover over cracks just to make it look like you're okay. And the show really taught me that I was vulnerable, I was broken, and I probably wasn't healed fully over everything that had happened to me in the previous year. And no matter how much backlash I had from people, you weren't ready, you shouldn't have gone on, I was actually proud of myself because I did go on. I did do well. I did try, you know, with Thomas and build a relationship and connection. I put myself out there into a world that I'd never done before. And I, even though that was a broken self, I came out so much more confident. It kind of built me again. And I feel like no matter how broken you feel, or you don't even realise you are, you're so incredibly strong. And that's a message to, like, everyone. Like, no matter how you feel right now, if you don't want to get up out of bed, you don't want to, like, you will one day, or you can, and you're gonna. Do you know what I mean? Change your mindset that, like, everything will be okay, and these things are here to test us. Like, I'm so much more confident now from that experience, from just even seeing me being so vulnerable and broken. I'm like, God, I got through a time like that.
Yeah, and it's how you come out of it. That's what grows you, and that's what builds your character. So, you know, and I think everyone was witness to that. I mean, you've got a very strong kind of family bond, don't you? I mean, that was really evident on the show and that as well. How has that family also influenced, like, and supported the business side of it? How involved are they? Do you get them chopping flowers and planting seeds?
My family are absolutely incredible. I couldn't, that was the thing, like, I am so fortunate to have a beautiful support network. Like you say, you know, I'm an independent florist business owner, but the truth is, I could not do it without my family. When I was on the show, my grandma's amazing at keeping on top of the paddock, weeding. I got in a florist to do all my flower orders. I had Auntie Julie, who came and also kept, like, the seeds going. My mum and dad run, like, all my accounts and keep everything in line. Like, if I have an idea that I wanted to grow this year a wildflower meadow, I've got my dad who's working out the metered squared and how much I need, and, you know, the rotivation and the planning. So I couldn't do it without them. And, like, my sisters are just a great support for me to chew their ears off and say, you know, this has gone wrong, that's gone wrong, it's not fair. And I couldn't do without having a listening board or people that are there to just support me. So I do believe if you are going to go into business, you obviously do need an amazing support network, because you know, I couldn't pay for that. Do you know what I mean? There's no money in the world that I could give that would say thank you very much, I value you. Do you know, they're just amazing. Yeah, it's like you two.
I know she like, and Connor as well. They're my work family. Like, honestly, and I always say it, like, all the time. Like, I couldn't do it without them. Like, it's just, I mean,
it's so important to have people like you say, and you know, there's sometimes, especially, you know, like, there's employers and then there's, like, your besties and your work wifeys and everyone around you that's just like, you know, you just ring up and you're just like, just need to say something, and you're just like, I get it, and I'm just like, you do.
I will literally text her going, I ain't happy, and she's like, straight away on the phone, she's like, okay, tell me more. I'm like, all right, this has gone wrong. Who do I have to get?
Like, a problem shared is a problem halved. That's how I like it. And I'm like, who can fix that? I'm like that.
Oh God, completely. Yeah, no. You've actually, like, given away why I actually sometimes phone Tigz, and I'm like, this has gone wrong, Tigz, and I don't know how to fix it.
I always get, why am I getting so many reviews on a product I'm not currently selling?
Yeah, she's such a good techie person, so I just call up and go, I don't know why I'm getting all of these emails. What's going on?
Oh.
All right, I'll look at it.
Because that is nice. Like, you can't, sometimes it's just as well, like, you wake up and you're overwhelmed. So if you can just give a little bit of the cake to someone else, it's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. Definitely.
How many people are working alongside you within the business? So obviously there's quite a big family connection. So how many people are involved in keeping the doors open?
So, to be honest, obviously I've got beautiful Dawn, who obviously steps in now and again. She's a florist, so when I'm out, she'll, like, jump in to do my weddings. And then I've got Ella, who I've just taken on. She's an apprentice from Rees. And even though there's, like, she was like, Rozz, there's 13 years between us and you act like my age. And I was like, oh my God.
Love that.
And I was like, but it's nice because she keeps it young. She's obviously into TikTok. Like, she's quite current on Instagram. So, like, even sometimes just putting those jobs on her plate is nice, because then I can just crack on with planning or, you know, getting seeds in. So, yeah, I've got Ella, and she's absolutely incredible. And then I've just really got family, like Grandma is constantly, then Auntie Julie, she comes down, and it's like, I suppose, like, by the time you think, it's probably about 6 people that help me run the business, but only really Ella and Dawn are actually trained, you know, florists.
Who you pay.
Yeah, well, yeah. Exactly. I pay
Who's on the book, the tax man. We're getting you in trouble now, aren't we? God, sorry. Sorry, family. She's really appreciative. She loves you lots.
Yeah, I really love you. They'll be charging me now. They've heard this.
We'll come home and be like, I've got loads of pizzas. Here's pizza. And everyone's like, oh, what's this for? And like, you'll find out in about 2 weeks. Just remember this day.
Yeah, just remember what I'm giving you, okay?
Every day up until 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, up until Christmas next year.
Oh, I'm actually crying. Oh dear.
So paint a picture for us of what a day in your life is like. So, you know, an average, I say an average business day, like anyone has one of those, I think. But like, what does a typical working day look like for you?
I know, so I actually did a day in the life of on Instagram the other day, and then I put on a poll saying, was it chaos or we wouldn't expect anything less? And everyone was like, you're chaotic. And it's like, I think generally as a person I am chaotic. I do try and plan my day, but I'm one of those that like just, you know, wherever I go. So generally I get there in the morning and I will start making orders, and then obviously I'll head out on deliveries, I'll sort collections. I generally like want to get on top of my website, you know, check that the stocks are okay, check that everything's working all right. So I do generally have a meeting with Anthony, bless him, I'm sorry, the website designer. And then it's just like raising invoices, doing social media, taking content, dividing seeds, checking on the flower paddock, you know, walking the dogs, but generally replying to customers. Mine is very much social media led, so it's trying to be current, like trying to plan social media over the next like month or week, or to not get overwhelmed. And obviously because I'm running Rosalin's Flowers and the Flower Paddock, it's trying to have different content that's informative. So I'm trying now to do like videos of how I'd cut back, when I'd cut back, you know, what I cut back, what I grow. So really, yeah, it's just running on trying to inspire other people, maybe, you know, for a couple of hours on Instagram, on, you know, that sort of platform, and to create more customers coming my way. So yeah, I'd say every day's varied, but every day's full on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of running your own business. We were talking about this. I mean, it is non-stop.
Yeah.
You just never stop thinking.
Yeah.
Like, it's always on your brain. But
I know, because that's it. When you go to bed, you're like, oh, I didn't think about that today. So I've got like a January list of what I need to cover in January, what I need to cover in February. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, thank God for notes on your phone, because I think otherwise I'd never sleep. But I literally can wake up and I'll literally be like, oh, quick, write that down so I don't forget. So then I can at least, hopefully, get back off to sleep again.
Yeah, get it out of the brain before it festers and becomes a full-blown idea by 8 a.m. in the morning. Yeah.
You've had one wink of sleep. Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit, because I love flowers. I'm a big flower fan. Talk to us kind of about the seasonality side of it and keeping it fresh. But obviously things like, you know, like displays change and that, don't they? Trends and that change. Like in terms of dried flowers were super popular last year and that. So what do you see for like this year, and what is it that you like to try and inject your knowledge and skills into what you create for people that kind of puts your stamp on it?
Yeah, so I definitely say like my style is country. So when I set out to do the flower paddock, I thought, right, I know you've got to please customers, but also like what drives me is what I like. So I thought, right, I'm gonna grow peonies, delphiniums, lupins, you know, all flowers, roses, David Austin roses, dahlias that I like, that I'm passionate about. And then, you know, I want to grow them. Like, I know I had chrysanthemums, for example, last year, and yeah, they were great. They were super long lasting flowering of ours, but because I don't necessarily have a love for them, I know I'm not bothered about keeping them tidy, making sure, and that's not how I want to be, because it's still an investment. So yeah, I started off thinking, right, I'm going to grow these sorts of flowers, definitely country garden vibe, and then gone from there, really. And I feel like my custom now, they wouldn't really change. They know, just obviously change with the seasons, have seasonal country garden flowers, but they like the natural style and vibe, really. But yeah, it's just planning constantly. Obviously, with it being seasonal, you have to grow all your own. So it's like in December, I'm already thinking about spring, so I'm growing like my ranunculus, I've reset daffodils, tulips, and with being a flower grower, it's unpredictable. You know, the weather can come and frost and kill everything. The mice can come in and eat all your ranunculus tubers, you know, or you can lift things and they've rotten because the weather's been bad. And it's like, oh, all these investments you don't see as a customer, you lose, but that's business. You win some and you lose some. So yeah, at the minute I'm planning already for what flowers I'd grow for summer, and I've really started to venture out with this confidence to go to other florists and be like, look, I'm a flower grower, I grow all these flowers, I would love to be your British grown wholesaler. You know, let's try and be more, you know, grown, not flown, let's be more sustainable. I'm literally on your doorstep in Cheshire. So yeah, that's really my drive this year, and to do tours really of the paddock. You know, people love coming and looking about what you grow and how you grow it, and give them a bit of insight of I'm on clay, for example, and knowledge behind everything that goes into just getting one stem of flower.
Wow.
You know,
I would be really interested to know as well, because right now as we're recording, it is absolutely freezing. I think it was -14, they were saying last night.
It was the coldest night last night, apparently, when I came in this morning on the radio, they said.
And how is that affecting, I mean, I know that you said that you're sort of growing and planning for the whole year. How does that affect what you have in the ground now versus what does it affect what you might be planting this week, next week, for example?
oh god, yeah, like this January, because it's been so cold, like this past week I have been having such panics to Dad. I'm like, because in the summer I look out and I see the tens of thousands of pounds that I've invested because I see the flowers. But now all I see is brown, and I'm like, what if those daily tubers don't come up? There's thousands of pounds worth of daily tubers. What if, like, I walk into the polytunnel and everything, even though I've got heaters on, luckily I've got a polytunnel, but everything's got bubble wrap, I'm trying to keep it nice and warm, and then it's a balance between, I want to water everything, but I don't want to overwater it, because then if it freezes, if the compost freezes, and yeah, like as a flower grower, there's all of these worries, and until it comes into the summer months, I feel I'm relaxed because it's like the flowers are there. I did my job. But the weather, you can't. It's one of those things. Like we've just got to bend and adapt to it. Obviously, you can't go against it. You just got to try and. But touch wood, everything is protected. And basically, with my dahlias, a tip for everyone to protect them from frost. Get them covered, cut them back, you know, as soon as they start dying off the end of the year, and then cover them with compost so they're nice and warm underneath. So it's preparation, really. You know, prepare to fail, whatever that is.
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail. That one.
I mean, that just in itself.
What is it? Is it plan to fail, prepare to plan?
Fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
Oh
Bless
God!
you. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's not going to do well, is it?
That is definitely a clip for social, just saying.
No, pray for the plants.
Praying for you right now.
Should we just cut all this and just have that first bit where my life sounded so
so.
yeah.
We'll just put that on loop.
Oh God.
Well, look, I can't help it, but we've got to delve into the Married at First Sight bits now, because I know, like, for those people that obviously know you off that show as well, they'll want to know a little bit more about how it came about, really. You know, what made you decide to do it? I mean, it's mad.
Yeah. So obviously, at the end of the show, so whilst the show was going on, I felt like I was quite shy and about what had happened, really. You saw a bit in the backstory about me saying my horse had died and my boyfriend had dumped me, but then as the show went on, I kind of kept that to myself, and I think like that's because I was like, I'm healed, I'm fine. But then at the end, you obviously see me fall apart, because obviously still a bit broken about it all. So basically, yeah, my boyfriend left me, my ex-boyfriend left me, and we've been together about 4.5 years, and then 2 weeks later my horse died. You know, it was just mad time, because it's like timing of things. You're just like, what else is going to go wrong? Like, why is this happening to me? And you have a little pity party and you have a little cry, and then you just pull up your big girl pants and think, well, I can't live like this. I'm a type of person, I think, I was in a place where I didn't want to get out of bed, and I thought, well, I can't live like this. I need to change my mindset. I'm not going to be a spud in my bed, or, you know, just cuddling up to my teddies all day. Well, I wish I could, but I've got
Sounds great.
Bed in my bed. I love that one.
Well, that's it. I thought I've got a house to pay for on my own now. Like, I've got 2 businesses to run. I can't. So I pulled up my big girl pants, went to the farm, had a little cry to my sister, and she was like, you know what, Roz? I've just seen Married at First Sight. Apply for it. Like, you want a husband, you want to find love, and I thought, you know what? Yeah, I do. Like, everything, my future had gone. The future that I thought I had with my ex of getting married and having children had gone. And I was so want that for myself. So I'd applied for it and I thought, little old Roz from Crewe isn't going to get on it. But it was a nice place to live. You know, it was just somewhere out of reality that I'd just get up in the morning and manifest thinking, this is actually my life. Instead of seeing what my life actually was. And it wasn't bad, it was just sad. So then I got the calls and then went down to London and I just was like, yeah, whatever. And then I got the call to be like, Roz, you made it, we found your husband. And that was in December and I was like, no way. So it was the excitement of now, I've got to buy a wedding dress, I'm going to marry a husband, what's he going to look like? And I'm going on a TV show to find potentially the love of my life. Like, it's mad. And then obviously we did Backstory in January. And then we did Hen Party in February. And then I obviously got married on the 3rd of March to Thomas.
Oh,
I can't tell you how terrifying it is. Like, I'm a chatty person. So for me to be...
The most awkward wedding ever.
But that's me, the most awkward wedding. I was gobsmacked.
I mean, I would have loved it if Tigz had been the photographer in your photo shoot because that scene was just. How would you have got through that? I've got to say, because that.
Do you know? I don't shoot that many weddings, and I don't actually know it'd be suitable for TV. But when I photograph couples, especially like if there's any sort of like, you know, everyone's always thinking about everything else on wedding day and you've got guests and all that to worry about. So I get them to whisper to each other an alphabet of rude words. So everyone always laughs at C, for example. And then they get to G and by that point they're just... any ice that needs breaking is done. But I'm not sure we could have done that
I just don't know if Thomas would have known any naughty words.
I know, that's it. Or we would have used words like Neolithic simian and stuff like that, and I would have been like, what the hell?
And you'd have just looked confused.
Oh, God. But it's when they were like, right, do you want to do the dip? And I was like, yeah, what's the dip? And then Thomas was like, no. And I thought, I'm going to fall over. The dress was mega tight. And I thought, this is just not the... And as you're going back, you've got a double chin going as well. And I was like, this is not the look. And then as he's coming in for a kiss, he goes, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, what? What are you going to do to me?
Oh, no.
Which bit are we apologising for? Now or the bit that's about to come?
I know, I thought, what's going on? Like, what are you sorry for? What are you going to do to me?
Is it your breath? Is it the kiss itself?
So the whole thing was, but I remember the wedding day, like what I remembered was going down the aisle, being like Ross, like, bye, putting the ring on his wrong finger, like being an absolute idiot. So for me to see that version of the wedding day, I was like, oh.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because, like, how could you shut this one up? Like, yeah, my face does stuff, which is, you know, my face will, like, do expressions, but that's not because in a mean way. That's just my face is, like, listening to you.
Oh, no, you're like me. You can't hide your feet. Like, I literally show on my face. We both do, like, exactly what we're thinking. Like, yeah, there's been, like, we've had moments of, like, the filming of this where there's been like she's got resting bitch face.
So bad. She looks so bad.
She looks like what have they just said? Like moments like that. So don't worry, that is absolutely normal. Yeah. So never apologise for that. But I'm gutted for you if they've cut out moments of your personality that actually did bring that wedding up, because if you'd have just judged it off the edit, it was like
awful,
like tumbleweeds were blowing down the aisle. Do you know what I mean? Like...
And don't get me wrong, like there was moments where obviously I'm married marrying a stranger, like, I'm confident, but, like, as soon as we were about to turn down the aisle, they were like, Rosaline, we're ready. I'm thinking, like, oh, God. I remember being like, Dad, I don't think I can do it. There's, like, cameras everywhere. It's a new environment that I've never been in. Like, I felt overwhelmed. I just arrived on a tractor, for God's sake. I was freezing cold.
Yeah, I bet. 3rd of March, bloody hell.
Yeah, I had a moment where I was like, I don't think I can. Like, and Dad was like, Roz, you're fucking going down that aisle. I was like, okay.
Yeah, we've got this far. You're committed.
Yeah. And that's what Dad was like. He was like, we have not got all this far, like, all this way. And it was fine, like, when I actually got down there. But that's, again, step out your comfort zone. So easy to just, you know, not do the things that your mind doesn't want you to do. And it wasn't that bad. Like, I got down there and it was silly. Like I say, putting the ring on his wrong finger, it was silly. But the version that I saw back, I was like, oh my God.
So, I mean, how would you describe the on-screen chemistry between you and Thomas? Like, was there unexpected challenges, pleasant surprises? Like, you know, how did you see it? Because obviously, like you've just said, we only see the edit. So how was it genuinely for you?
I feel like on the honeymoon, on the wedding day, like, yeah, there was bits of awkwardness. I've just married a stranger. Like, I'm a normal human being. Maybe as well, I'm being dead honest, dead truthful. Like, what you see is what you get with me. So when they're like, do you feel there's a romantic connection? I'm like, nah, I met him 2 minutes ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, Roz, you're on telly, calm down. But it's the truth. Like, yeah, some people believe in love at first sight, but I don't. I believe in what's in your heart, how you treat people. I don't know the guy at this point. So we go on the honeymoon, and he's quite, you know, Thomas is quite introverted, quite standoffish. He doesn't really want to be that overly, like, cuddly. Like, when I was saying I want just a cuddle, it was reassurance.
I know, he proper pied you on the cuddle, didn't he?
Yeah, but it's only like my family are just literally like so affectionate. They cuddle me, they reassure me, it's validation. And that's all that was. It was just, I wanted him to be like, you know, it's okay, we've got this. But on the honeymoon, like, we laughed so much. We did skiing, we did sledding. Like, I laughed that much that I actually wet myself like 3 times because my pelvic floor is so bad. But you don't get to see them bits because obviously there was awkward bits, so they're running the awkward.
You do realise you're going to get requests for being the ambassador for big women's pants now, don't you? Like, women's nappies. Like, they're going to be hounding you in your DMs after this.
Well, that's it.
You'll be doing yoga classes on TV next.
Well, people like, can you feel your pelvic floor? And I'm like, where is it? What muscle is
clearly not been doing your Kegel exercises.
And sometimes in yoga and Pilates, I'd be like, yeah, I felt it. I didn't. I have no clue what muscle's meant to be going here, but...
So you were faking it then?
Yeah.
Were you?
I know. And then, like, go to the toilet and stop your wee. I can't. And when you're on a sled and your legs are wide open, there's no way that you're stopping that.
I definitely didn't see this question going down this route.
Right, no. There you go. There's that
sorry.
pleasant surprise you asked for.
That pleasant surprise. Yes, you've delivered.
But no, then generally our chemistry got better. Thomas and I started finding a connection. We started getting on. We started having great communication because I think that was a huge thing in our relationship was the communication was not there at the beginning. And then obviously we get on to, you know, what I like in the bedroom and stuff like that. And like,
that was
it
funny.
loosened Thomas up. You know, like...
Literally.
Oh,
you were on fire with the puns today.
I'm sorry, but we've gone into a realm where I clearly feel very comfortable. So it's like...
Well, I did find that, like, obviously, Thomas was a bit more, like, reserved than I am with, like, maybe naughty words or maybe talking about intimacy, you know. So to see him really take on board and be open-minded and forthcoming to these new, you know, putting himself out of his comfort zone. It was so nice to see that he could do that, and it's such an attractive trait, you know, to know that we're both willing to push ourselves out of comfort zones in order to make one another happy.
Yeah. And you really did have each other's backs as well.
Yeah.
Like through when there was obviously a lot of personalities at those dinner parties and a lot of drama. I mean, there's always drama in these shows, but my God, this has definitely got to be it
was very explosive.
The number one of all the seasons to date, where it was probably the most dramatic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like aftermath as well of people like obviously coming out of the show and then kind of dissing the producers and the show and stuff, saying how controlling and things like that. Did you experience anything of that nature of, kind of managing your journey, so to speak?
I feel like they're creating a TV show. They do want to kind of let it be natural, but also direct what's, happening. I feel like for me, I never wanted to be in the drama. I would never say anything I didn't want to say. I would never want to put myself in a position where I'm arguing with anyone. It's just not me. Like, also going to them dinner parties every week and being around that animosity, literally sometimes at night time before, Thomas said I'd be dreaming, be like, I don't want to go, I don't, sleep talking. Because it's such an tense environment. And I'm not used to being around that. Do you know what I mean? So it is hard, and I do believe it is a TV show. They've got to kind of manage and control situations. But yeah, I think it is eye-opening for someone that's never been around the camera or a TV show before. It is eye-opening. I do watch telly in a different light. It is TV, but almost sometimes it is edited for entertainment too. And obviously that's not stated on the show. Me and Thomas at the beginning, that's not how it always was. But obviously it's a narrative. They want you to buy into us as, couples and characters.
Yeah.
But they do try and stick to who we are. They don't take all that away. But at the beginning, obviously, I was gutted because I had no personality. And, that's the one thing that people buy into me as a business. And it was a worry and concern for me as a business owner. Like, I am familiar, I'm chatty, I'm easygoing, I hope to make people feel comfortable, and you've taken that all away on the programme.
Yeah. People buy from people, so I appreciate your worry with that. So it's a good job that obviously in the end it was like, and you now get to share that with everybody as well, so they can see you for your true self.
Yeah.
Was it easy to stay authentic to yourself with that many cameras around you? Like, obviously you've said that you didn't say anything that you wouldn't necessarily have said, but what is that like, trying to be the most authentic version of you with what I'm guessing is probably about 3 or 4 cameras around you at all times?
Well, the problem with me is I feel like I'm so ditzy. These cameramen are my mates. Do you know what I mean? I forget that we're not. You aren't a cameraman. You're my friend. So I'm just chatting to you.
That.
And sometimes I'd forget that they've even got cameras. Like sometimes, like at the dinner parties, I'd just be chatting like normal. It becomes that you don't see the cameras. It becomes that like they're around you all the time. You don't notice them. It's like, I have 3 dogs. I don't notice I've got 3 dogs every day because it's just, and like, honestly, everyone I want to be my friend. I want to be friends with them. So it wasn't as if it was, I feel like it was so easy to be myself. And I think you could see I was, because every side of me, if I was upset, I'm crying. My face couldn't hide if I was angry. If I'm happy, I'm smiling. Do you know what I mean? I've not got a very good poker face.
But that's the best way to be, isn't it? And then at least I love that you can actually just end up being so natural in front of the cameras, and obviously making sure that you are your best self and bringing that. And I love the fact that you can walk away from the experience being like, I'm so happy that I did this and I learned so much from it as well. That is incredible.
That's the thing, like, even after the edit, you're like, oh, there's some moments where you get trolling and you're like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I say that? And it's like, well, we're not perfect. We can't be perfect constantly. I said that because I felt that, and I'm just trying to be an honest, kind, true version of myself and be honest and open with Thomas. And it's like, the lessons you learn from doing an experience like that is incredible. And I can't thank MAFS enough, for just letting me be a part of it. It was wild.
So delving into that a little bit, what life lessons have you learned from the show, and what is the exposure and public attention that comes from reality TV? How has that affected your personal life and your business?
I feel like at first I was worried for my business. You know, the amount of hate I was getting at the end of the programme when I left was scary. I was, you know, on blocking certain words, blocking certain phrases off my Instagram, and then people then thought, well, I can't get at it that way, so I'm going to go onto a business page and be like, well, she only did this for fame. And it's like, that's when it hit me hard, because I thought, now it's not just damaging me potentially as a person, they're actually coming to my page. My mobile number is all over my business, so I was getting text messages, I was getting phone calls. I didn't dare answer the phone calls, but it's like, wow.
Oh my
God. That was madness. But then you look at the other side, I just think, right, it needs to die down. But it does hurt your mental health. It does make you think, God, all I was doing was being honest. Like, maybe honesty isn't the right policy in this world. Like, maybe, you know, what would they wanted me to do? Lead Thomas on for what? Who would have made that? Who would have been happy if I'd have done that? Do you know what I mean? No,
you did the right thing. Yeah,
and it's like,
did.
I think it needs to be like people to know that you can have a voice, you can stand up for what you believe, you can change your mind, you can rethink decisions, and as long as you're being honest, transparent, and clear and respectful, it's okay. So I think that's a big lesson for me, even in business.
Yeah, I can't get over that people were messaging you and phoning you on your phone, on your mobile phone. That just, I'm sorry, that's just, sorry, disgusting. It really is. Like, get a life.
I know.
Seriously.
And part of me thinking like, like, I felt sorry for them, because I thought, well, they've got at 11 o'clock at night, they've obviously got no one to talk to or to text, so they're coming at me. And it's like, that's when I felt bad for them, because I thought, I text it in a group chat, text it to your mates, you know, just text it, tell your family what you think about people on TV. Don't come onto the internet. Like, I struggle to have time to text back my friends, let alone text a randomer on television.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a WhatsApp group with my female neighbours next to me. We're called like the Bad Neighbour Girls, and we love MAFS. So we actually do message like on our little WhatsApp, and we're like going, oh, I can't believe he said that. My God, oh, she looks terrible, doesn't she? But that's like us just, you know, having our like, you know, MAFS moments together. But my God, it never would have, you know, because that's what we do. Unfortunately, we're human and we can't help ourselves.
You know, we like to moan and stuff. We like to gossip.
Yes, we do. We love gossip. We love gossip. Do you love a bit of gossip?
But that's where your level of respect lies. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's inside a group chat. It's with people that you know, respect and know it stays between you guys. Like, that's where it should all be. You know, vent your anger. Don't hold on to it. Yeah, tell people you think Rozz is a twat. Tell me, don't let it fester inside you. Jesus, don't come to my page and start calling me nasty words. That's next level.
Oh, no,
but, you know, I do get it. People need to vent out their anger, and, you know, we're resilient. We're fine. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm kicking today.
Did you get support? Like, did you? Because that's the most important thing. I think that you are okay and that you got support if you needed it. If this was impacting on your health and mental, you know, well-being.
Yeah. Like, my family first off are amazing support for me anyway. But then you have like a psych. So I spoke to Amanda, who's absolutely incredible, telling you, like, she knows how it was. She was there every episode. She, you know, she's so nice and refreshing to talk to, because you'd start the phone call crying and then you'd end it being like, course, like, I'm fine. And it's like, you have a welfare team who are constantly checking in on you. Like, the support is incredible. And I may be naive a bit, you know, when you go into telly, you're gonna get it. You know, not everyone likes you. So it's, what I've learned is you get a tough skin, you're tougher than you think you are, and I've learned that I'm not naive to the world anymore. You know, like, I know that there's people out there that not necessarily going to like you, Rozz, and that's okay. Yeah. It's fine.
Well, we think you're fabulous.
We do. We love you.
Thank you, girl.
A little fan club over here.
Yay! We can all do
I'll ring you and tell you on that mobile.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Love it. So what would you say then is, like, your lessons learned then? Like, let's drill it down now to kind of everything that you've kind of been through in these last few years.
My lesson is that I have more self-respect for myself than I realise, that I have gained so much self-worth, that I am independent, I can be independent, I am confident enough to go out there, get business, push my business and own a business. Do you know what I mean? Like, I actually, like, people have been like, you're inspiring, and I'm always like, oh no. And actually now, I look, if I could tell the version of me 3 years ago who I am today, I'm pretty sure the old me would be like, wow, well done. Like, because I didn't believe in myself back then. And it's like, I hope in 3 years' time, that me now can look at me in 3 years' time and think, wow. And it's like, yeah, like, business doesn't all come at once, but it will come. And I think I've just learned that no matter how broken you feel sometimes, you're actually incredible to even be, you know, we're fortunate, we're lucky, and I've just got self-respect now. I've realised that when I can do life on my own, I can get married if I want, I can be single if I want, you know, there's no pressure of society, I can just do as I, you know, as my path plans. There's no pressure.
It's the best I am list I've ever heard when someone's described themselves. It's incredible. What is the future looking like for you right now? What have you got coming up in the pipeline that you can tell us about?
I feel like, I don't know, there's a few things going on that are obviously a bit secret, which are really exciting, so I hope they come off. But I think for me, it's concentrating on just pushing the business, concentrate on, you know, what my business following wants to see, and if I can help, I want to do like Paddock tours, encourage young people in business and encourage young people to step into flower growing. You know, get more local florists around this area using British grown flowers, and yeah, just really continue trying to grow as a person as well.
I think you should get your own TV flower show personally, because I think you'd be fabulous.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
I'd actually turn my TV on for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd just be very Rozz though. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't.
I
wouldn't
know,
be
but
like
we
Monty
love
Dog.
that. That's the whole point.
It doesn't even have to have flowers in. If it was just you on TV for 45 minutes, we'd watch it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I would love to do that. But honestly, like, it's been really, I've really loved like talking to you. I hope I've not waffled on about anything like boring.
No, not at
nothing.
all. It's. I have belly laugh. I'm crying. Like literally, my makeup's like falling off me at the moment because I cried with laughter. But we do always do a really quick fire round, which obviously we've got to do with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll go crack on with that. So, what is your best business accomplishment?
Oh, best business. I'd say setting up the flower paddock. I'm so proud of it. Yeah.
Amazing. And what is your favourite productivity hack?
Productivity hack? I don't know. I think now it's having a plan for social media so I don't get overwhelmed with it. So start planning out what content I need to make, what is educational, what people are actually interested in, and then making stuff around that so that I'm current and, you know, people enjoy it.
Fabulous. And this might be a tough one, but what is one thing that the internet doesn't know about you?
I feel like the internet knows everything.
I know. The TV, the whole world.
Maybe the one thing the internet doesn't know is I actually sleep with a teddy dinosaur called Basil.
Oh!
Do you want me to go get him?
Yes. Yes, we want to meet Basil. Oh, I'm sorry for anyone who's actually listening and not viewing this. You might have to tune into YouTube to see Basil. Hey, Basil. Oh, right. I'm just going to he's cute. I'm just going to describe him. He is a soft olive green. He's very fluffy. I mean, he looks like he's probably a bit matted. He's probably had a lot of love.
Definitely loved.
A lot of
Definitely
cuddles.
loved.
So when Thomas didn't cuddle her, she went to Basil.
Basil did. Basil did. He smells
made
nice.
up.
He's been washed.
Yeah, I wasn't going to ask about the smell.
But I feel like everything else in my life, people know. That's it.
Clearly. Well, we now know Basil.
When it went to in my bed, were you getting a bit worried?
I wondered if we were going to turn the camera round. We're going to be like, she hasn't made a bed today, guys.
I reckon she has.
Oh, God.
I reckon Rozz is a
Have
bed
you made your
maker.
bed?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
My bed is constantly made in the morning.
good.
It's good.
No, I'm pleased about that because I was brought up in a household. You can't start your day until your bed is made.
Yeah, my bed's made and it's beautiful. I love it.
Good. Well, we'll keep your bed private. We won't show you
That one's
the
just for you.
Just for you. And any lucky man that's popping around later.
Not joking.
Yeah, he's still here.
It's not finished yet.
He's still asleep. You wore him out.
Yeah. Last night was wild.
Well, honestly, I tell you what, I could genuinely keep this conversation going.
too.
I really could. It's been such a pleasure and a delight to have you on. And I'd love to welcome you back as well, like soon, and you can update us on what the exciting projects and that you've got coming up when you're able to talk about them. But thank you so much for your time, and we will let you get to the paddock now and start pruning.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. And honestly, I'd love to come on again. And I've loved meeting you girlies. And yeah, I just loved it. So thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure. Oh, thanks ever so much. You take care now.
So do you. Bye, guys. Bye.